Welcome to HogvilleNET YouTube Live. It's our 5-5, like I always like to say now. I'm playing the clock, and the clock's undefeated still. We're going to try to squeeze in 5 important talking points with Razorback basketball going into the weekend here on a Friday, May 17th. I'm on the road. I'm in Bryan, College Station, Texas, not to cover Diamond Hogs versus Texas A&M, a top 5 matchup in college baseball. I'm here for the Adidas 3SSB circuit, traveling with the 17, 16, and 15 and under Arkansas Hawks teams tonight. A big matchup. I'm going to talk about that during the segment. It's going to be one of the points, but we're also going to get started at the top. Number one, what's the most important thing right now for me? By the way, go down and hit that subscribe button if you haven't. We appreciate that. The most important talking point right now for me is DJ Wagner. We're still on commitment watch list. He visited a week ago, basically. His visit started on Friday a week ago. Had a weekend visit, still haven't, nothing official. I've been on here a few times during the week telling folks, look, I've got a source that's telling me it's Arkansas. He's already verbally, not publicly committed, but silently or privately committed to John Calipari, head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, who he played for at Kentucky last year. It's a 6'3" point guard, Kentucky transfer, DJ Wagner. Now, my source had told me some other interesting things as to why it even took so long just to get him on campus for a visit. And I thought some of it was interesting. And if you remember, I've pointed out a couple of times, in addition to the Southern Cal visit that preceded the Arkansas visit, and then as a follow-up, there might be a visit to Florida. My source had also told me that somehow Auburn was in play, kind of off the radar, and trying to work an angle to get DJ Wagner to the Plains. But having said all that, I did check with my source again last night. Once I was traveling, I was on a charter bus for about 9 hours yesterday, kind of out of pocket. And I said, is there anything going on here? I mean, I see Calipari, we're going to talk about this, is now looking at another combo guard on the international level. Anything here to why this delay is going on? And maybe he said, look, it's Arkansas, exclamation point, exclamation point. And then the next 2 words were just wait. So we'll see. That source information, everybody's going to blame me for saying that I said DJ Wagner's coming to Arkansas, but based on everything I've got, he is. Okay, let's move on now. Let's talk about these 2 international players. Something else, when I came on early yesterday morning, and we're about midday today, I am not on Trilly Donovan's Discord. And Trilly and I touch base with each other randomly every once in a while. But I was not aware on his Discord that late the night before that he reported that Calipari is now in pursuit of a couple of young international players, effectively 2024 guys. When you look at him, Nolan Traore, a 6'3", 6'4" combo guard, point guard out of France, played in the French league for Saint Quentin this year. And I watched the entirety when it was live of the Nike Hoop Summit, and he was one of the top 5 or 6 guys that really stood out to me because of his aggressive attack style, getting to the basket. He'll go to the glass. Not fearless in transition, but also in a half-court setting. He really plays with no fear. 17 years old. He actually turns 18 here, I think at the end of May. So he'll turn 18. But a guy that's been played in a French league last year for Saint Quentin, and averaged nearly 11 points, 10.8 points, 5.6 assists. He did have 3 turnovers. His shooting splits weren't great, but you're talking about a younger player playing up against older guys. But in that Nike Hoop Summit, going up against guys his age, the best from the United States and other international players, he was outstanding. Probably, again, one of the top 5 or so players there. Another player that Donovan is reporting, Trilly Donovan, that Calipari is in pursuit of, is Igor Demin, a 6'8" combo guard wing out of Russia. Played for Real Madrid, a couple of the teams there, Real Madrid and Real Madrid 2. In both scenarios, he played a total of 28 games splitting between those 2. And he averaged over 13 points per game. In one of those runs, it was over 5 rebounds per game. The other one about 3.5. In each instance, he averaged over 3 assists. And in each case, he averaged over 2 steals per game. And one of those stretches, 2.6 steals per game. And this is a low turnover guy. Keeps his turnovers 1.5 or so per game. And his shooting splits over 50% from 2, ranging between 33 and 36.5% from 3. But a 6'8" combo guard wing reminds me a lot of these international guys when you look at guys that can face up and play sort of a guard wing slot, 6'7", 6'8", And so you see more and more of that as we move on with basketball. The clock's going to remain undefeated. I'm over 5 minutes. I'm 5 minutes and 12 seconds. But I mentioned I'm in Bryan College Station tonight, and two players I want to bring up. These can be points 3 and 4. I'm here with the Arkansas Hogs. So that means I'm with 2025 Terrion Burgess out of Benton, 6'9" combo forward, again, class of 2025. National top 40 guy. 247 Sports has him ranked 36 in the country, high level 4-star. The Hawks will be playing Phenom United. So that's class of 2025, Darren Peterson, the number 3 overall player, high level 5-star guy, 6'5" guard. That matchup will happen tonight. Arkansas has been recruiting him. I just interviewed his dad and had a story out recently in my Hoop Hogs notebook talking about how not only was Arkansas among the 8 finalists, but they were looking forward to coming and visit Arkansas later in the summer. There's been another report that's come out since talking about schools they will visit. Arkansas was mentioned in the top 8, but not among those to visit. I'm going to try to interview Darren Peterson tonight. That's on the clock for me tonight after this game to see where things stand and get it in his words with Arkansas, see if I can get an interview. And I'll be here all weekend for the Adidas 3SSB. It's the first live eval period, by the way, folks, for college coaches, Division I coaches. So Arkansas should have a presence here. We'll see who actually makes it. When we talked to Cal on Tuesday in Little Rock during the media scrum in that one Razorback Roadshow event, I specifically asked him would he be on the road this weekend, and he affirmed that. So there's other events going on, the Nike EYBL in Indianapolis and some other ones around the country. But the main ones, I'm at one of the bigger ones, and so we'll see what kind of presence Arkansas has here this weekend, because it'll be a who's who of college coaches here. A lot of head coaches over the years. I've seen Cal out. He definitely gets out and recruits. Okay, that's going to be a big matchup tonight. The Hawks and Burgess against another high-level guy, a 5-star, Darren Peterson. And if you go back and read my Hoop Hogs notebook that's at HogvilleNET, I don't know, it's been a week or so that I put that out. His dad, on this go-around now that Cal's at Arkansas, Muss was recruiting him, and now it's Cal. And so we'll see where that goes and if Arkansas is actually able to generate a visit out of that. Koa Pete, another top 10 guy, plays for the Compton Magic. I'm going to try to put eyes on him this weekend and interview him. Big-time guy in terms of Team USA involvement. In another class of 2025 star, again, top 10 5-star guy that Arkansas made his cut list of teams that are, that he's down to and interested in. And so I'll try to get an interview there. There's other excellent players that Arkansas will be recruiting that are in this event. So I'm going to try to make the rounds, get highlight videos and things of that nature for you. And then we'll see where it goes from there. And I guess what we'll close with is just a reminder of a few things. One is Cal's been talking about keeping the roster to 8 or 9. Now that we see that there's some international guys in the mix, that might change things just a little bit in terms of that. And certainly they're backcourt kind of players. So I find that interesting because I still think even if you get whenever DJ Wagner comes off the board and, assuming it's Arkansas, you get to 8 scholarship players, I think you still need a front court guy. I still think you need a forward, some kind of a guy with some rebounding ability, maybe can stretch the floor a little bit, complement the frontline pieces already in place when you really start talking about Jonas Adu and Big Z, the Kentucky transfer. So, interesting that these international guys that I just mentioned, 6'3", 6'4", 6'8", but they're perimeter guys. So I just wonder exactly where Cal's going in terms of trying to round out his roster. The 6'8" kid's a shooter. I'd say Traor's more of an all-around kind of player. When I tweeted out that Arkansas was based on Dollivan's reporting that Arkansas is in pursuit, one of the comments was someone thought Traor reminded them of Anthony Black. It's not a bad comparison, kind of attacks and drives the same way. Not a quick twitch, real quick guy, but, kind of skilled enough and savvy enough and understands how to weave through traffic and really kind of doesn't mind physicality. And that's how Anthony Black was. Anthony Black, 6'6", 6'7". Traor, again, 6'3", 6'4", but there are some similarities there. When I looked at the shooting splits again this last year, I don't know that I'm going to judge him on that. He shot fairly well in the Nike Hoop Summit. Again, that's effectively an all-star game, but man, it was a good game. And of course, on the other side in the backcourt was Arkansas Razorback signee and incoming freshman Boogie Fland, as well as Billy Richmond. Both of those guys were in that game, and so. Interesting to see how Calipari, with already 3 players from the high school levels signed and on board, and then recently talking this week of kind of keeping the freshman numbers down to understand that he's now recruiting players for that would effectively be freshmen in 2024, same age level guys. We'll see where it goes. Again, I think it's interesting. Don't know the level of how hot the pursuit is, but according to Trilly Donovan, Calipari's moving on in those directions. And so thank you for joining me on HogvilleNet YouTube Live. We know we do this 5 and 5. It turned into 5 and nearly 11. You know, it's going to be hard for me to ever get one to land under 5 and 5. The clock's still undefeated. Go hit the follow button, if you will. Anytime anything breaks, we're going to come back live if it's DJ Wagner commitment, but I'm also going to be doing lives throughout the weekend, giving you updates. Go to my Twitter page at AR Hoop Scoop. You'll see plenty of highlights of coveted players, including players Arkansas is recruiting in this first live eval period. I'm in College Station / Bryan, Texas. Won't be seeing the Diamond Hogs this weekend. It'll all be about hoops for me, but hit the subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. We love doing this. Until next time, see you then.